हरिः ॐ शुभं करोति कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः आत्मबुद्धिप्रकाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते। दीपात्वं देहि कल्याणं देहि सर्वान् मनोरथान् यावत् कर्म समाप्येत तावत् त्वं सुस्थिरो भव।
Thank you, Palash Srivastava ji, Dr. Achal Pandya, Head of the Department of Conservation, Sanjay Dhar ji, Tashi Lhanduk ji, who is the conservator from Department of Culture, Bhutan, all the eminent personalities related to the field of conservation who are here in this lecture hall, and some bright young faces, dear students. This is an important topic on which we are discussing today, and that is the preventive conservation and management of wall paintings in historic buildings. As Sanjay ji has rightly said, we have kilometers of wall paintings in India, and if you go abroad and see the quantum of wall painting they have and the kind of care they take, you really get astonished, because we have 1,000 times more wall paintings in our country, and then we don't care for them. And not only care, in fact, enough awareness has not been generated in the public in general that these are important paintings and we are supposed to preserve these paintings. One very pathetic feature is that when you go to a historical site or an ancient site, what you see is that there are traces of some people putting their mark on those things. I love you sort of things, Meena and heart and all these things. So why these things happen? Because we don't care, and we have not been taught to take care of these things. Had we been taught to take care of these things, I think most of the problems would have resolved in the initial stages. And this teaching is not to be done at the college level or the university level. This has to be inculcated from early childhood. Because when a young boy or girl goes to the school, or from the school trip he is taken to the historical site, this is the responsibility of the teachers and the curators and the people who are posted there to teach them properly that these are our treasures, these are important treasures. You can, if you tear off your shirt, you can buy a new one. If you lose your shoe, you can take a new one. But if you lose this painting, nobody is going to create this, because the artist who has created 1,000 years back is not here, and this thing cannot be replicated. For instance, the painting of Ajanta, I have not seen anybody who has exactly replicated the painting as the Ajanta painting even today, though we have eminent persons, stalwarts, painters, but nobody can do that. Because there is a very interesting feature which I often repeat, that somebody was asked that who is greater, a scientist or an artist. So the famous philosopher replied that an artist is greater than a scientist. He said, why? Because scientists have invented so many things. But he said that what Galileo invented, if he would not have invented, someone else would have invented. What Newton had invented, if he would not have invented, someone else would have invented. But the thing which Picasso has made, even Picasso cannot replicate it. Artist does it only once. Even you cannot replicate it. It can be a copy, but it would not be the same. So this is the creation. So that is, and this is the case with God also. because God has created all of us, but you don't match to any other person. I am told that in 10 lakhs only 2 people match their fingerprints. This is the kind of variety and creativity the God has, and after the God, only artist has this kind of creativity, who has created all those things. And these artists are all selfless artists. What you write today, even if you write 4 lines, you would like to put your name below that, so that you have the proprietary on that. We are all vigilant about the IPR issues. मेरा copyright है, कोई और नहीं ले लेगा. फेसबुक पर भी जब पोस्ट करते तो फेसबुक पर भी वी वुड लाइक टू पुट अवर नेम देयर, हैशटैग भी डाल दो, कम से कम मेरी प्रोप्राइटरी होना चाहिए. बट लुक एट दीज आर्टिस्ट हु हैव डन रिमार्केबल क्रिएशंस and they have not put their name, they have not put their identification mark. So this selfless service they have rendered to the field of creativity, to the field of art and culture, and they have only given us small task to look after them properly, and we are not even doing that. This is the smallest task we can do. If you buy a new car and somebody does a scratch on this, you beat him badly because he has spoiled your car. You know that paint is available in the market, you can get it repaired. In fact, it would be better if you get it repaired. But still we beat that person who make a scratch on that car. But when the matter of wall painting comes, we are not vigilant, we are not careful. People spit tobacco and chew pan and just spit over them. Sometimes they put charcoal, they put chalk, scratch these ruthlessly. And even if we are watching them, we don't stop them. हमें क्या करना है? And कि और बहुत सारी लाइनें हैं, एक और लाइन निकल जाएगी तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? So this is the attitude which we have. Unfortunately, this has been prevailing as far as the entire heritage conservation is concerned. Why this has happened is because when we grow our child, our priority is to take him or her to the shopping mall or the cinema theatre, not to the museum. If we take them to the museum, if we take them to the good exhibitions, good libraries, I think they would learn something better. But even the parents do not have the priority to take their children to the museum. And I spoke to a young parent and I said, why don't you go to the museum? They said, because it does not have a good coffee house and we can't eat there. I said, eating should not be your purpose. And then if you see children visiting a museum and their most disinterested teachers dragging them through the museum, you would see the kind of interest they generate in the museum. चलो जल्दी करो, भागो यहाँ से, इसको हाथ नहीं लगाओ, उसको छुओ नहीं, उसको देखो नहीं. I had a chance to see modern art museum at Copenhagen, and I could see in a gallery children were lying on the floor and trying to replicate the painting, and nobody was stopping them. Their teacher was also sitting, she was also observing something. And couple of children, they were all observing those paintings, lying, trying to draw these things and all these things. That is how you learn. That is how you learn to preserve. That is how you learn to protect those things. Unfortunately, this training has to be inculcated. And this is the responsibility of the people who belong to this field. Conservation has always been an activity which is on the backdrop and behind the curtain, because I have always when I speak to the students, I always tell that this is the behind the curtain activity. You don't get credit to what you do. If somebody is seeing the painting, they would appreciate the painter, they would not appreciate the conservator who has brought to this stage. And so that is why most of the young people do not get encouraged to come to the conservation field. But let me tell you, I see a couple of young faces here and I'm enthusiastic and I'm happy that now even the younger generation has generated some interest towards their heritage conservation. And we should also try to do this kind of a selfless service as far as conserving these wall paintings, our heritage is concerned. As far as these wall paintings are concerned, a few days back we had a remarkable exhibition known as Glorious Ajanta. I don't know how many of you have seen that exhibition. There is an artist in Nasik who has tried to recreate digital images of the Ajanta paintings. As we all know, almost 50 to 60% paintings have vanished. I mean, the 50 to 60% part of the painting is vanished. And even if you go and see, you cannot see the entire painting because of the lights which they allow you to put on the painting. And then you have pillars in Ajanta caves, so you are not in a position to see the entire piece of painting. But this artist has spent over 20 years of his life in recreating those digital images. And the biggest challenge, I asked him, what was your biggest challenge? He said, my biggest challenge was to do the color correction. Because the kind of colors which those painters have used, even today I am not in a position to match those colors, and that was the biggest challenge. So what I am trying to say is that today we may think that we are technologically advanced and we have so many things at our disposal. Even today we cannot match to their expertise, technological expertise, through which they have made these colors and made these paintings for these. So we should, as a tribute to their capability and remarkable creativity, try to preserve. There are many ways and means through which we can preserve these paintings. I know that in 2 days discussion you would be definitely sharing your experience in preserving and conserving these paintings. My request to all the experts and the students would be to also think about dissemination of information to the general public, which has not been done. Even if you are doing something, you are trying to be confined within yourself. You are not thinking, you are not discussing it with the public at the large. Today you have so many forums, especially like social media. You have an interesting forum. Rather than putting unnecessary comments on me too, he too, she too, they too, we can really creatively put something interesting. You can create a blog on these things and how to conserve it. This is for the general public. This should not be for the conservators community, because you know what you are doing. You know, your colleagues know what you are doing, but a layman like me do not know what you are doing and how it has to be done, how it should be done. So even if you teach me, I would be more than happy to learn. I'm sure there would be people who would be happy to learn, who would happy to get the information. And by this, there may be a few people who are more resourceful, who have larger outreach, and who can teach the community at large about the importance and conservation of these paintings. So the time has come that there is a need to reach out on a more stronger footing, on a more determined footing, and you can structure your experiences. Suppose if you go to Rajasthan and do some conservation work there, you should share your experience. What were the challenges, how you have done this, how better I could have done this. Maybe there would be some friend maybe sitting in, say, Netherlands, and who can suggest you some better options. There are chances. Or somebody can take some example from you and replicate it there. So that sharing has to be done. So I think that these 2 days would be, as Achalji has rightly said, this is a beginning, but this is a very good beginning. I welcome you all here at the IGNCA, and I hope that title does not mean much. You call it conference, you call it symposium, you call it workshop, as long as you are clear what you are going to do. And even if you call it a group summit, I would be more than happy. And there is a very, very nice mixture of some bright young people and not so young people. So I think all of you can create a very good, vibrant group which can take these things further. I extend my best wishes to all of you, and expect that we are going to do something much more concrete and fruitful in near future. Thank you very much.